Hello, my name is Rabiatul Adawiyah Binti Zulkflee. My normal Matric 201371562. I am from Electronic System. I'm going to present about Lab 7, which is Voltage Regulator. The objective of this lab is to study the characteristics of basic series voltage regulator and improved series regulator using OM. There are two experiments of this lab, which is basic series regulator, and the second part is improved series regulator. What is voltage regulator? It's a component of the power supply unit that ensures a steady constant voltage supply through all operational conditions. It regulates the voltage during power fluctuation and variation in load. It can regulate AC as well as DC voltage. This is part 1, basic series regulator. If you can see that the figure shows the circuit of basic series regulator, which is the mainly component we use in this circuit is transistor, bipolar transistor, and also Zener diode. From the previous circuit, we this slide is the data of the previous circuit, which is basic series regulator, and then the left side is the data table of data of table of measured voltage output. And the data show that we vary the voltage input from 4 volt until 14 volt. And the right side is the data that we the graph that we plot from the measured data of V out. If you can see the output is right, the output 3.5 is rise until 4.5, and it maintain constantly. Why it main why it maintain constantly? So we discussed part 1. Why it maintain constantly? The transistor working is when the voltage at the transistor, which is VB, is held to the stable voltage across the diode. When the output voltage increase in the circuit, then the BE, which is base emitter voltage, will be decreased and cause the transistor to perform less. And as the result, the output voltage will be stable. It will be at a stable level. This is part 2, improved series regulator. The figure show that in the circuit we use the main component is bipolar transistor, OM and also Zener diode, which is have three main component. From the input series regulator circuit, we saw at the right side there are table of voltage input versus voltage output. We say that the major voltage output. We vary the voltage input from 4 volt until 14 volt. And at the right side, at the left side, we saw that the graph plot, the output rise from 4 and rise until 7.4 something, and it maintained constantly until 14 volt of input. Why and the small figure in the middle of the table and the plot graph is the calculated voltage output, which is we call it common voltage, the voltage output of the circuit. From the cir- from the graph, why with the it maintained at 7.4 and at the 7.4 and until why it maintained constantly at 7, because it's in this series voltage regulator using OM. The OM is used as a comparator. The resulting difference of voltage cause the transistor control the conduction to compensate the variation of the output voltage. Thus, the output voltage is maintained at a constant level. From this lab, we conclude that a voltage regulator is an electrical device whose sole purpose is to maintain a constant output voltage. It improves the desired output voltage regardless of any change in the input voltage or load condition. And lastly, electronic circuit need voltage regulator since they require a stable voltage supply to avoid damage. That's all from me about the lab 7. Thank you.